So time to go into battle.
Yeah, I like that guy too.
Dude, I fought with my best friends, man, and we drank a beer. So let's just get to it, man. You know, I mean, it doesn't have to be me. Choose anyone you want. 1v1, bro.
I mean, you wouldn't mind having your, I don't know, let's say for argument, your science acumen tested. You wouldn't mind that, would you?
It's just standard procedure for the server,
man. I like this dude, man. He is really funny. I like you, Doxy. Seriously,
thank you. My science acronym's honestly not that good. I'm really good at D&D.
No.
D&D if you want.
Acronym? Your acronym? How you spell it?
Yeah.
Doc, you come up with me, dude.
We could talk D&D all day long. That I understand. I understand sailing.
What's a spelling contest?
Oh, okay. You understand
fooled me,
sailing and
dude.
navigation? Doc, you're a sailor?
Yeah, that's awful.
Yes.
How do you,
Doc,
Doc,
hey guys,
Doc.
real quick. Could I talk with Doc about sailing? Because he claims to have expertise in sailing.
Yeah, I mean, I
Well,
know
yeah,
that,
dude.
dude.
All right, Doc. Are you familiar with celestial navigation?
Yes.
All right, good. And have you ever heard of something else called astroarchaeology?
Vaguely, yes.
Okay, they line up megalithic structures to the sky.
Yeah.
Because you keep asking for a map. Earlier, I wanted to tell you the sky is not just a map, but it's also a clock. And so when sailors were at sea, they would use the sky to celestial navigate. You're familiar with Polaris?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we have a pole star. Now, you know, on the globe model, we're not just
We have a
spinning.
pole star and a pole rotational point in the south, yes.
What?
Hey, calm down, then.
Oh.
Calm down there. Yeah,
It's the same
what
thing
was
you
that?
said last night, Nathan.
All right, so we have a pole star. And now your claim is that we're on a ball in space spinning around the sun, 66,600 miles an hour, and the sun is traversing through the Milky Way at 500,000 miles an hour to 1.2 million miles an hour. And we have a pole star every night, and all the stars just rotate around them. And the sky is a map. We have constellations. They've been doing astroarchaeology for thousands of years. And before we had computers and GPS, they used the sky to navigate, and nobody thought Earth was a globe.
Not correct, sir.
Oh, okay. I'm convinced.
What-
sorry,
what-
my bad.
sorry,
I'll
hold
leave.
on.
Nathan,
Hold
you're
on.
wrong, man. Go home,
So
man. Go
very
home.
quickly.
No,
What's
your
not
response
correct?
is nuh-uh.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got this, Nathan. What's
The,
not correct?
we didn't believe that we lived on a flat plane, as demonstrated by the Polynesian coconut sextants.
Polynesian coconut.
I like this guy a lot more now.
He's cool, man. I like him, man. I told you.
Polynesian coconuts.
It was.
Don't you
It
mean
is
sidereal compass?
no. I mean, it has long
So
been
there's the
tradition in the
Carolingian sidereal compass. Have you heard of
No,
that?
sir.
The Carolingian sidereal compass?
Can't
The
say I have.
Carolingian Islanders. That's in the South Pacific. They couldn't see Polaris compass. They thought the Earth was flat, and they could sail 600 kilometers and hit a rock island to collect turtle eggs. You know, that was only like a half a kilometer wide. Now, how did they do that when they thought that the Earth was flat? They used something called the Carolingian sidereal compass. It took Europeans like 300 years to get it out of them, how they were doing it, because they kept finding these people everywhere, and they didn't have a sextant or astrolabe or any means to so-called navigate. And I could give you another anomalous thing. So in 1898, there was a dust storm in the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so it was so bad that you could not see the horizon or the sky. So for some strange reason, the HMS Britain was able to navigate by dead reckoning 2,000 miles. Now, how did they do that? Because you know the dead reckoning uses regular, straight edge triangles. There's no spherical triangles in dead reckoning. That would have been off
They
by
used
600
that
miles.
Polynesian pineapple, dude.
It's a coconut, not a pineapple.
That stuff's good on pizza.
Oh,
And listen,
I thought you were cool
remember
up
what
until
I
you
said?
said
They
that
had no
pineapples
view
should
of
never
the
be on
Finish his
horizon
point. Let
or
him
the
finish
sky.
his point.
They had no view of the horizon or the sky.
I would be amazed
2,000
to
miles.
hear how they did it. I don't know. I've never heard this story.
I'll actually post the reference. It came from the Royal Meteorological Society.
That sounds fascinating. Thank you. I would love to take a look.
Hey, Doxy, is time physical?
Is time physical?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude. This is
To
fucking hilarious.
my understanding, time is both physical, or is mostly a thought and a state, a way we use to describe things. However, I barely understand most of that research. Sorry.
Try and explain the physical part a bit more.
Wait, yeah.
No.
Well, you said we use it to describe, and it's physical?
That's about where my understanding ends.
Right, because it doesn't make sense, right? So who could understand that?
I agree. It is very, very difficult and very, very technical. I
think the word you're looking for is stupid.
Well,
Sounds like a belief.
Gymnastics.
sure. A couple hundred years
belief.
ago, germ theory was gross, right? Was unthinkable. and
Gross.
stupid.
No,
But
no,
germ
it's still
theory-
stupid. Dun dun
Wait.
dun.
Wait,
Germ
that
theory
is real?
Germ theory is
Wait, what?
stupid. So
It's
I can
still stupid,
operate.
yeah, but hey,
I can
look,
operate
here-
on you without
What
washing my
the-
hands.
Bro, why are we talking about germ theory? No, you have toxins, there's different type of bacteria.
We're talking about
So
all that.
anyway-
doesn't really
It is
support the
science, aren't we?
globe idea, though.
Sorry.
Like germ theory
Oh.
doesn't support the globe idea because what did they do to the person that came up with that theory? They vilified him, they ostracized him, and ended up having him institutionalized because they wanted to protect their little theory that existed prior to him.
Sure.
Oh,
Isn't
you know
really
what
a
his
good,
name was?
Simowites.
Yep. Good job. Listen to Indio throwing out the knowledge.
Hey,
you know
I saw-
why? You know
I saw
why?
12 monkeys.
No, you didn't. You were snorting that Polynesian pineapple.
Wait. Someone fill us up. What's a Polynesian pineapple? Is that what was said? What? Wait. What?
Sexton,
What's the
Hey,
story?
wait,
Always
hey,
better
hey,
on
hey, hold on.
pineapple.
Hey, what was that name? What was that name you said?
It was Samois.
So whatever. It's
I
hard
got
to.
it somewhere.
Simowites. It's like it's
Yep,
weirdly spelled.
yep.
It's like SEIEMELW. I don't know. I'm not Polish. I can't spell that shit.
I got it.
Or
I got
whatever
it
it is.
somewhere. You
I
don't
was
need to
just
know.
about
They
to
put
say,
them
You
in.
didn't even need to tell me. I was just gonna say that sounded like a Russian J name.
But they were
No,
literally
they
institutionalized him and said he was crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
He
I'm
died
just-
in
I'm-
an institution, man. Like,
yeah, I was just
it's
talking
sad.
about his I was just talking about his last name. I was talking about what type of person he was. You know, saying like, you know.
Well,
you
that's not the point. The point is,
No, I know.
yeah, that all of the peer review systems back then didn't want that shit. They didn't want to listen to him, so they vilified him. I get a whole write up on this guy somewhere in my files, man. It's really cool, and that's correct. Indio's spot on.
Yeah, somebody send
And
me a
this
link.
is
if
why you
can,
don't
or-
appeal
or
to
put
authority.
a link in there so I can see. So I need to look up more info on this guy.
Oh my God, you're gonna make me go look for that shit?
Use Google.
All right. No, I got my write up. Fuck Google.
I like looking into certain people's pasts.
I know where I can find it.
Hey, so I was looking at, I was talking to someone, Doxy, so you did end up agreeing that time is just a concept, obviously inherently can't be physical?
Austin, he has no clue.
Okay, I'll take that, yes.
I will actually agree with Nathan on this one. This is something that I don't fully understand. I understand its implications in my everyday life, and if I show up to work late, then I'm going to have people I have to answer to, but that's about the only thing I understand about time.
Right, and it doesn't have any physical implications within the physical world. It's simply a construct of quantification we use to maneuver our day.
Yeah.
No, I mean it definitely does. If I don't show up to work, I don't get paid. I don't have a house. I don't have food, and
Does
I die.
time reach out and bitch slap you though? No, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You ever been in a nursing home? They've all been bitch slapped by time.
That's pretty funny.
I really do like this guy.
I'm going to allow this. This is quite funny.
He's cool, man.
Doc,
I
what are
like
you
him.
doing
I
this
apologize to
weekend,
any older viewers out there. It was a joke.
No, you're good, man. I think I liked it. I told you I liked him
Yeah.
right from the start.
Doc, you want to go fishing this weekend, man?
But without
I have to work,
circling the
thank you.
fucking without circling the drain for half an hour, Austin or Wizards trying to get you to a point. The understanding that time's not physical, right?
I understand one definition of time is not physical. Yes.
If time,
And the other one's just like a made-up idea.
if time isn't physical,
Before Brenda explains the made-up idea, let's just make sure Doc understands he's about to listen to a fairy tale of a made-up idea. That's my point,
Yeah,
right?
it's not
There's no physical evidence of any type of preposterous claim, such as physicality being attributed to the conceptual idea or abstraction of time. We quantify passing; it isn't physical. It's math, measurement, metrical representation, a description, not physical.
Sure.
So-
Completely understood. May I listen to Brenda's explanation? Because I
No, yeah. Go ahead.
yeah. If time isn't physical, how can we bend it?
What?
If it's not
I don't
physical,
bend time, Brenda. I don't know
yeah,
about this.
yeah, you can, you
Sorry,
can,
guys.
you can,
Brenda's like,
you
when
can
put on
change
a
it.
watch, it curls around your wrist.
Right. Exactly.
Can you
It's
demonstrate
geometric.
this for us, Brenda?
Right. So
Can you demonstrate this?
sure, somebody traveling at a high rate of speed will experience time passing slower than somebody who's traveling at a lower rate of speed.
Sorry, have we ever traveled fast enough to experience time slowing?
Yes.
When was that?
Every time that you've been in a jet airplane.
Yeah, you guys.
My clock always seems exactly the same, dude, on the plane and once it lands. So
Yeah, your clock isn't accurate enough.
so once again, everything in the real world isn't accurate. Your fairy tale is accurate.
Oh
Please
no,
continue.
there are clocks that are accurate enough. It's just
Well,
that
if you're
yours
equating
isn't.
going in a different time zone as time slowing down.
No, I'm
I
not.
think
Time
to help
dilation.
Brenda,
No, I'm not.
Sorry, guys. To help Brenda along, we were talking about this the other day. Are we going to be talking about an atoms again? Cesium? Is that where we're going?
Yeah, every atom is a clock, and she's talking about.
Hold on, I've asked
Every
her.
atom's a clock, Brenda. said
Yes,
that.
yes, they do. Atoms experience time. Yes, it's absolutely
Brenda,
true.
can you look at an atom? And tell me
Can
how
I
many
be a
Brenda?
clock too, Brenda?
Am I full of clocks?
Wait, are we
Wait a minute, Brenda, are you
personifying
saying-
atoms
can
to
I ask you- can I ask
experience
you a question
things?
real quick? Are you saying the atom identifies as a clock, Brenda? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying it is a clock. It experiences time.
Well, I experience time. My clock. Can I identify as a clock too? Brenda?
It is a clock.
Clock?
Wait, are you personifying the atom to experience something?
Yeah, that's
So
what makes it a clock,
what does it
When's
mean?
it?
That's what
So
makes it a
so
clock, it
oscillation.
experiences
So
time.
Sorry.
no oscillations.
Clocks experience
She lives.
time.
She lives vicariously through all these things. She
Yeah,
talks
the measurement of
They have-
oscillation within light. The measurement within light of oscillation. It demonstrates physicality of time. How?
Yeah, because it has
Vicarious-
frequency. There's a frequency. There's a frequency.
Vicarious Brenda.
So if you ask me
Okay,
questions, if you ask me questions, you have to
All
actually
it is
allow me to
pineapple
talk.
Guys,
Time
please.
So if you ask me
fair enough.
questions,
Let her answer. Let her.
if you ask me questions, you have to actually allow me to talk and not talk over me. Don't
Yeah,
talk
Brenda,
over
go
me.
ahead. Brenda,
If
go
you're
ahead.
going to
I
ask me
asked you
questions.
how. Okay, fair
gonna
enough.
ask me
I asked you
questions.
how.
Make
You
up
said
fairy tale
yeah.
Shit, you.
I already know
We're
the
gonna
question.
laugh.
I already know the question.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all okay.
That's
Yeah,
right.
right. Okay, I
So-
said how, and you said yeah. Please continue.
Right. So there is a frequency associated with the electron in orbit around the nucleus of every atom. It has a frequency, and you can measure that.
And
What?
Right. So frequency.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
So the
whoa,
frequency.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Frequency
Back
of
up. What?
the frequency of oscillation of a cesium.
No, no. Go back and state your first statement again. What was that you said? Did you say frequency of an electron around an atom?
Yeah,
It orbits around.
Well,
Oh, see, I just let all that go because whatever you're talking about, some type of frequency, and this is showing the physicality of time. I'm really interested in the correlation here.
I'm sorry about that. I'll let it go because
No,
that was
fair enough.
that
You
was
go
some
ahead.
harsh shit. But I'll
Nah,
let it go.
don't let it go.
Honestly, don't let it go. I personally just shut out anytime someone
So-
says electron. So
Right. So if you're just going to deny things, then I can't explain them to you, right?
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
So the way you measure
on the
the way you
kettle black.
measure time the way you measure time is by a periodic change, right? Whether
Yeah.
whether that is the wheel in a mechanical clock, or whether it's the piezoelectric crystal in a quartz
Yeah, but
clock.
the rate of change is not relative to how you quantify the rate of change. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me right now?
That was just gibberish. So
Have
the
you
way,
thought about that?
So the
That
way
was
they,
just
Oh, it was just
so the way,
gibberish.
right. So the way you measure change.
No, I'll say it
someone
again
needs
then.
to
I'll say it
count
again
the
then.
clock.
The rate of change is not caused by how you quantify the rate.
Well, no, of course I didn't say it was.
You are
Right.
saying that.
No, I'm not. So you measure.
Yeah, you did.
In a quartz movement clock, you measure time by counting the oscillations of the piezoelectric quartz, because it oscillates when
And
you
the
apply
differentiation within the rate
It
of
vibrates.
change.
It vibrates, right?
Oh my God, why are you so scared of it? Rate of change, yeah.
Yeah. It holds steady. It doesn't change. It
Oh, so there
oscillates.
is no differentiation. So when does time be manipulated, and when do we see the change? There's obviously a change. It's the rate of change that you're
No,
pretending to interpret.
So a piezoelectric movement in a quartz movement clock, it vibrates when you apply electricity to it, and then you just count those vibrations, and that is your measure of time.
Okay, it's a measure of a rate of propagation.
No, it's a measure of the oscillation of the quartz movement.
Okay.
Just like
Okay.
Measure of
just
vibration.
right,
oscillation.
right. Just like in a mechanical clock, you measure the oscillation
Yeah.
of the pendulum.
And
of the
then
pendulum,
what?
Of the
And
pendulum.
then it changes based on altitude.
So yes, it changes depending on speed.
Okay, so you're measuring the rate of change.
Yeah.
Yeah, it changes depending on
Yeah.
speed.
That's the problem.
So if
yeah.
you travel at a faster
That's
speed,
your problem. He was pointing it out to you. You missed it.
no,
Yes, rate of change. You're numerically representing that with the construct of time, and then conflating or equating that to the cause of it being time.
Or time inherently.
so if you
wild.
have one clock, it's at rest, and another clock.
You're not listening. You're
moves
whistling
fast.
past the graveyard.
So if you have one
Right.
clock
In-
at
in-
rest,
Just shut her up. She's
one,
Brenda,
fucking
Brenda.
one
chanting.
clock
Sorry,
at
Brenda,
rest.
Brenda,
I just want to explain
Brenda.
it.
Brenda. Well, I think it's been pointed out that you failed to understand what's been addressed. Would
No,
you like
it was
repeated
just-
to
it
you,
was just
or do you want
gibberish.
another 30 seconds?
I want to
question for you.
I want to
Your
explain
inability
it.
to
Hold on, no, you
comprehend
I
haven't.
want
Let
to
me
explain
finish
it.
Physical.
Hold on, guys.
I want to
Sorry.
explain it. I
The
want to
only-
explain my
Oh.
position.
No, let Jedi translate
No.
what you call gibberish.
No, so
No.
if you have a clock at rest,
Brenda, do you
Shut
think you just like
up!
run the server? You come in here and run the server. So
so
no,
I
I'm
just
just
want to
satisfied
explain.
with you misrepresenting what I said as gibberish. Jedi seems to think he can present it to you in a more interpretive way. So please let him do so. Thank you.
No, it wasn't that. In actual fact, I was going to ask you to repeat yourself if Brenda
Okay.
didn't, and it looks like she doesn't understand because it's been pointed out 3 times, myself included. I don't think she understands that she is indeed whistling past the graveyard.
And
So,
that's obvious by the fact you refer to it as gibberish, right? So, okay,
Yeah.
you're measuring the rate of change, okay, and you're telling me that proves the causation of the rate of change was the time.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't-
it's as simple as this.
You didn't
Brenda.
make any sense.
Are
You didn't make any
measurements, in your
sense.
opinion, physical?
Only people that are going to be talking to myself, Brenda, Quantum Eraser, and Witsit. Just for a minute, my friend.
So,
Yes,
so
alright,
the way
no
you measure time is by measuring how something changes, right? You have a pendulum going back and forth. That's one way. You have the quartz movement in a clock. It vibrates. It has a frequency. You measure that frequency. That's another
We're
way.
not talking about measuring it. He said, is it physical? Let's define physical first so we can make this easy. Physical things have one of these: chemical structure or formula, charge, matter, momentum, or spin, or millielectron volts, kcals, or kilojoules. What does time have?
It doesn't have all of those things, but this is just something you've made
No,
up.
one.
This isn't.
One.
This is
No,
none
which
of this.
one does it
none of
have?
this. None of this is
Right.
what physicalists in the
Jedi.
metaphysical
Physical
philosophy
matter
of physicalism.
Whoa, time out.
Is not what
He said-
anybody
listen,
recognizes.
She said nothing with the physical within the metaphysical. That's what she literally just said. And he asked you,
that's not
we
what I
understand
said.
what physical properties are. Which
No,
one of
no.
these physical properties does time have?
None of that is what I said. None of that is what I said. You were over talking me. You didn't hear me.
Because you're walking past what he asked you. He's saying which
No.
physical property does time have, and you said that he doesn't have all of them. He's not asking for them for it to have all of them. Which singular one does time have?
Time has the property that when you move more quickly, it passes
No.
more slowly.
Jedi, she's not answering the question.
Yeah.
This is
so
not a
you can-
1v1.
No, it isn't.
You
But I'm trying to
stupid
calm the
fucking
conversation. Yeah, it's not that. I'm trying to calm the conversation down. At least run it down to you three. Ultimately, you've been provided with something, or at least at this instance, a description of what
No,
this
I haven't
is.
been. I haven't been permitted to present my case yet.
Yes, you have. And
No.
I asked you, I will say
No,
again.
You haven't. You haven't allowed me.
Yes. Nah. Yaha. So,
No,
let me say it
I
one more
want to
time.
present my case.
This is the question. Shut her up.
Brenda, come on. Like, dude, that's just how it works here.
Listen,
I want to present my case.
the
But
question.
listen, no, okay, there's a few things that need to be pointed out. He was trying to define something. Okay, agreed upon understanding of terminology being used in the discussion is a basic parameter of being able to actually have a discussion. It
Okay.
has nothing to do with us picking on you. It's about having an actually intellectually productive conversation.
Yes. So, back to the original point. Slayer said, is time physical? That's the question. So, we have to define the parameters of the simple question. So, for something to be something else, we have to define that something else that is physical. So, what is physical in our reality? How is it defined? I just defined it for you. It contains one of these. Physical. It's either matter or energy. How about that? So, here comes the matter part. Chemical formula or structure, charge, momentum, or spin. That's the matter part. Here comes the energy part. Millielectron volts, kcals, or kilojoules. See it?
Yeah, I don't
So
accept
time.
I don't accept your definition of physical.
You don't accept what? That's what it is.
No,
Yeah, it-
citation needed.
Okay, so Brenda, your physical
I need a
is an
citation.
exception.
I need a citation. I need a citation.
Yeah, I'll give you a citation
I'll-
right here.
Not a
Okay,
cherry picked web page.
He's going
I
to
know.
cite it. Brenda, so are
You
you
don't know
agreeing?
what
You have to at
cherry-picking
least
is, so
you have to
I
at
can
least
control this.
acknowledge, Brenda, you at least have to acknowledge that you are invoking the exception.
I
What?
don't know what you're talking about, and he
You have
doesn't
to at
either.
least acknowledge you're invoking the exception of what he just
I've
defined
no
as is
idea.
understood in the material world to be physical.
no
You're
idea.
invoking an exception to that.
I'm simply disagreeing with his definition.
It's not a
Thus-
case of agree, disagree. It either is or it
Yeah.
isn't. It's either matter or energy, period.
Well, that's your claim.
No,
It's
that's
not mine.
physicality.
No,
energy.
it's not. No, it isn't.
That's what the fuck it is.
No,
Matter,
Okay,
energy.
Brenda, so
Fucking
you are
take a
thus
rocket scientist to figure
claiming
this out.
you're claiming an exception to the parameters of physical as defined by QE. Is that
yeah,
correct?
I'm claiming I don't accept his definition.
Well, you're a moron. That's why.
So time and can you
That's,
think
that's
of,
just
can you
an
think
ad
of,
hom. That's
Sorry,
just an
wait,
ad
so-
hom.
sorry.
That's just an ad hom.
Okay, Brenda, can you name anything other than time that would be an exception to his definition then?
A smile.
Wait,
Is a smile physical?
well, your mouth and teeth are physical, yeah.
Yeah, but that my mouth and
Yeah.
teeth aren't a smile. They make up a smile, but
Right,
they are
Brenda,
not a
that's what
smile.
smiles.
If I draw a smile face on a piece of paper, is it
You're a
physical?
fucking retard.
If I draw a
So-
smile face on
smile.
a piece of paper,
Smile
physical.
is a concept, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Duh.
Time, seconds, hours, days.
Time.
They're units of measurement. Are units of measurement physical? The answer
But I'm
is
trying
no.
to boil this. I'm trying to boil
Obviously,
this down.
obviously,
I'm trying to
obviously,
help
units of
you.
measurement.
I'm trying to help you, Brenda.
obviously. You're not.
Brenda, you
help-
realize I'm trying
you're
to
not
help you, right? I
don't-
don't think you do realize that. I'm
don't-
actually
don't
trying to
help
help
me.
you in the conversation.
I don't want your.
promise.
I don't want your help, and I don't need your
Well,
help.
you need help because you're
No,
not listening, and now
I
people
reject-
get frustrated just because it
Too
feels like I'm
bad.
trying to.
I would prefer that you just kept out of it.
I bet you would. I'm sure you would.
I'll tell you
So
what,
I would
Austin,
like to
just
give my
take-
case
take-
now.
Take a minute.
I would like to give my case now. So the
Yeah,
claim
go on,
is.
have no case.
So the claim is that time is physical because it can be altered and distorted by
Wrong.
by engaging in a high rate of speed.
You have to show
Relative-
physicality of time.
No, I can simply show that
You
it.
keep trying
I
to
can
put-
simply
you keep
show
trying
that
to define things by what they are, and you can't do that. Man.
you can't
It's
define
begging the
things.
question.
You can't define things by what they are.
You can't
Second
beg the
question.
question.
It's circular.
Defining
It's
things
so
by what they
circular.
are is not circular. That's called.
Yes, if your
that's
evidence
defining
of it
things.
is you explaining it, that's a begging the question fallacy.
So no, that's
Yep.
not what begging the question is. You don't understand what fallacies are.
Oh my God! Yes, it
So
is.
begging the
There's a
question-
question at hand. If in order for you to actually postulate that you're explaining it, it requires you to beg the question, assume what is in question. That's a begging the question fallacy.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're trying
okay.
to describe. You're
It's
trying
when-
to describe it to us by showing the effects of other things.
That's not begging the question.
What
That's
is
not.
begging the
That's
question?
not.
Sorry.
Doing, you're
Sorry.
assuming that it's
What
real
is-
by assuming that these effects are connected to it.
No, that's still not begging the question. Begging the question
What
is
is
when your
it?
conclusion is contained in one of your premises.
No, you're having an observable phenomena. You're interpreting it based on your presupposition of begging the question.
Dead.
Yeah,
So-
you're saying
so-
time is physical
You said
because
time
we can
isn't
change the speed
physical
of it.
because you bend
And
it.
you're saying we can change the speed of it because it's physical.
No. She said
Literally
she could bend it.
circular logic.
Yeah, that's how it started. She said,
That's
"We
her
know
initial
time is
premise.
physical." Yeah, she
Oh
said,
my
"We know
God.
time is physical because you can bend it."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your
You
premise.
can bend it because
Yes.
it's physical.
No,
You can bend it
you
because
can
it's physical. Yeah,
because you can
exactly.
actually
Circular
because you
reason.
can no because you can actually do it.
Yeah,
It can actually be
it's
done.
Yes.
You can
Even
change.
circular.
You can
Please
dilate
Circular
time.
reason.
Calculation that you
Will
speak of.
Circular.
This fucking
Yeah,
retard up
sorry.
there.
We-
All right,
Yeah,
let's just
lots
let
of
Brenda
people
talk for a second.
lots-
So
yeah.
it look.
Austin.
Just go ahead, Brenda.
Austin, can
Right.
you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Carry on, Brenda.
Right. So we know that time can be bent or distorted or dilated because you can have a clock that is at rest and a clock that moves at a high rate
Objection.
of speed, which can then,
Objection.
which will then,
2 seconds.
and then
I'm
that
getting to
the
it.
second clock will experience time passing at a different rate. Therefore, time can be altered or dilated in accordance.
Okay, what's the
in
objection?
in
Sorry, but
accordance.
you've got it
in,
out.
in a,
Sorry,
one
get
one
it
last sentence. One last sentence. In
No.
accordance. In
no.
accordance with Einstein's
said
special
time is a
theory of
clock.
relativity.
Time is a clock. Time
got
is
you.
not a clock. Like a yardstick
Clocks
isn't
measure.
a football field.
Clocks
Time
measure
is
time.
not a clock.
I never said it
Brenda, 2
was.
seconds. Brenda, look, we've given you the chance. I've let you say your bit, even though he objected ages ago. Give him the chance to explain your objection before you walk through him. This is how we're going to conduct this discourse.
Objection 2, that's different.
Time is not a clock.
Objection.
Inherently.
I never said that.
Shut the
Objection.
fuck up. Yes,
Objection.
you did.
I can use an
What, you
objection.
cannot
I
use-
never
no,
said
you
it.
cannot
You gotta
object
kick her ass out of here
objections.
right now.
Brenda, you
Kick her
cannot
out.
object objections. The rules are
I said-
if someone
I
makes
said
an
objection.
objection, they get 6. Brenda, stop for a second. The rules are if someone makes an objection, they get 60 seconds unimpeded. Okay, you cannot object an objection.
You've got to at least let them explain the objection fully. It might take them
Okay.
5 seconds. It might take them 30.
She said time can be bent because you can take a clock. So that means, Brenda Numpty dipshit, that you're saying that time is a clock. Time is not a clock. Like yardsticks aren't the fucking football field. Do you follow, Sunshine? Thank you.
That's a fallacy. I never said that. Clocks.
That's not a fallacy. You did
Excuse
say
me.
that.
I'm talking. Clocks.
did say
I'm
it.
talking. That is false.
You
You're a
said
liar. You're a liar.
Get your
I
fucking
never
ass
said that.
Get her out of here.
I never
I'm
said
telling
that.
You.
Clocks
Kick her
measure.
the fuck out of here right now.
Clocks measure time.
Kick her the
Yeah,
fuck
but you're
out of
already
here
listen,
now.
listen. You did say that, Brenda, and also
I did not. I did not. That is a lie. I
um,
never said that clocks are time.
No, you said that. No, you're already assuming time, and you're assuming that clocks measure them.
Yes, clocks measure. Yes, clocks measure time.
No, but listen, you're already assuming that time is already there.
And physical.
No, I'm assuming that clocks can measure time.
You fucking
Oh my
idiot.
God.
We're talking about measurement. We're talking about whether time is physical or not. Not fucking clocks.
Clocks measure time. That's how we can know. That's how we know that you
should
can
be
bend it.
institutionalized.
That
You're a
clocks,
fucking retard, man.
Clocks measure time. That's how we know it can be bent.
You're a retard. Just plain and simple.
You know, tape measures measure length.
You're retarded.
That's how we know
You're
that
retarded.
length can be distorted. This is just
You're
ad
retarded.
hominem. This is just ad hominem. I object.
You're retarded. No,
I
shouldn't
object.
have you.
I object.
It's too
I
crowded at
object
the
to this
moment.
ad hominem.
Yeah.
I'm simply getting talked over and ad hominem.
Brenda, look, we're gonna gain some control. Brenda, percentage, please, Joe. Brenda, okay, everyone, we can't all talk at once. So, Brenda, if you would like to speak, it's cool, man. Just be concise, please. Be concise
I
and
was
specific.
su-
We
I
need
was.
substantive. I'm almost done. We need substantive specificity, right? And try to make it concise.
Don't try to use words that are bigger than you understand.
No, those words just
Nope, that's an ad
mean
hominem
what I'm
insult.
trying to say. Substantive, is that a hard word to understand? Specificity, is that a hard word to understand? I think they're both pretty self-explanatory. Substantive, specificity to the discussion at hand, pertinent details that are actually relevant, concisely, please.
Clocks measure time, and the reason we can know that is because when you accelerate a clock, it experiences time passing slower than a clock that is at rest.
Is that all clocks or just your cesium clock?
All clocks.
A voltometer measures volts. Can we volts?
Clocks measure time. They don't measure
Voltometer
volts.
So my G-Shock is going slower while I'm on a plane.
Yes.
Well, wouldn't it be going slower as you travel north or south of the equator? So
It depends on your speed relative to a clock that is at rest.
Does the axial rotation play into the duration or speed of time?
No, it's simply one clock relative
Is
to another
ignored.
clock.
I gotcha.
So it's
Oh,
simply relative. Time is relative to observers, right?
So motion is what you're saying.
This is special relativity. It says that with a frame of reference that is at rest, and you compare it to a frame of reference that is accelerating, the accelerating reference frame will experience the passage of time slower with respect.
Okay, so would you account for axial rotation? That is obviously motion.
Axial rotation would not factor. This could be done away from the Earth, out in space.
Okay, well, we're doing things on Earth in the real world, so would
So-
you have to factor in the motion of the Earth,
No,
or is
it is-
that not factored in?
The rotation of the Earth is nowhere in Einstein's theory of special
Okay,
relativity.
Gotcha. Right. So the motion of the Earth doesn't affect how fast time is, but the
it's
motion
about-
within the Earth does.
It's about
Motion over the
no,
Earth.
No, the special relativity is about reference frames and relative motion between them.
Yes, and I'm pointing out the inherent contradiction. Okay, so there is no differential in reference frame with the axial rotation of the plane.
That didn't make any sense. You're using big words again that you don't
Oh
understand.
my God.
Differential, you don't know what that means.
Okay, is there a difference
There we go.
with the motion of the plane relative to the Earth, or is it all the same frame of reference?
Well, from the reference frame of the clock that is at rest on Earth, Yes, there is a difference. That is what accounts for the speed up or
That's not
slowing
what I
down
asked.
of the clock. That is
I'm
what
asking-
happens.
What I'm asking is, does the axial rotation itself cause any difference in frame of reference?
We're
or is it all
considering-
homogeneous?
We're considering that the clock that is on the ground is at rest.
Even though it's supposedly not, it's actually moving, right?
Well, it's at rest. It's considered to be
Relative
at rest.
to it moving.
Motion is relative. It's only relative to something else.
That's what I just said.
So no, that's not what you said. So
I
we're
just said that.
No, you didn't. So
Okay, well, everyone else
motion
say it.
motion is relative.
You keep on fallaciously thinking that time is the clock. How many times did I
No.
got to tell you time is not the clock?
I don't think
Yeah.
time is the clock. I think it is how we measure time. Time
All
is
your proofs are clocksies.
No,
All
time
your
is a
proofsies
measurement.
revolve around clocksies, right?
so
Just
clocks
time
measure-
inherently. Put time in a jar and paint it red.
Put length in a jar and paint it red.
That's right. It's
What?
another concept. You're correct. Thank you.
Right, but
Are you
nevertheless,
saying that
length-
clocks, Brenda? Are you saying
length-
that clocks measure? Are you saying that clocks measure a measurement,
No, I'm saying they measure time.
which is a measurement?
No, it's not.
No, it literally is. It's a
No,
conceptual
it
measurement.
isn't. Do
It that's
do-
literally what it is.
do rulers measure length?
A rule.
Yes.
Come on.
Linked to concept.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
how can you measure a concept?
Exactly.
So
So you're
rulers.
quantifying.
So rulers.
it.
So
It
rulers.
is a concept.
So rulers don't measure length. What do they measure?
Length isn't what you're measuring. Length isn't. You're not measuring length. You're measuring something physical. You dipshit.
So with a ruler, I'm not measuring length. QE.
Oh, you
You're
are
not
measuring
measuring
length with a ruler. A ruler does measure length, but a
fucking
ruler is
moron.
not length.
I'd say.
No, you're
I'd
measuring
say.
something physical in a
don't-
conceptual
sorry.
confinement.
So.
Oh no 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 no
So
no!
length-
No, you're measuring. No,
Length is physical.
You're measuring.
Four
no,
people now.
listen,
Don't
listen,
need
Pause,
four
pause a
people
bit,
to
Jedi
answer
is
the
talking.
same question.
Listen, you're measuring a
needs-
reification. Listen,
Oh
you're
my-
measuring a
this guy doesn't.
reification. You're
Hey.
listen, you're measuring. A
Jedi's talking.
reification.
Jedi's talking. Hey, you might be coming in a little low. I don't know, but Jedi, go ahead.
No, I was able to hear Jedi completely.
Length is a
It's
physical
getting to-
property. Length is a
No,
physical
it's
property.
a reification.
Brenda, did you not
It's a
just hear how we
reification.
said we're
Brenda,
gonna let
wait.
Jedi talk, dude?
All I
Right,
hear is people
guys.
talking over each other. I can't hear anything else.
Yeah, me too.
Sure.
So we don't need four. We don't need four people to answer the question. But as Brenda just stated it, I want that point rounded off, and I want it addressed by Quantum Eraser. It was the person who's talking.
Jedi,
Yeah,
quick question: is this still
Oh,
a free for all, or only the four of you? Because people keep on
Wait.
jumping in.
I don't mind who jumps in, but it can't be 4 or 5 people with the same question and different ways to answer it. It's got to be structured, otherwise it's just noise.
Yes, so it's the same thing. Like I said, we're talking about is time physical? That's the original question. And the first words out of her mouth are clocks. Number one, clocks aren't time like yardsticks aren't the football field. Number two, you said you're measuring length. Length is a concept. You're not measuring length. You're measuring something physical. The concept of it is length. That's it. You're finished.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
rulers. So as I understand you, John, rulers do not measure length. Is that what you're saying?
Oh my God! No, I'm
No,
not
you just tried to
fucking
straw man
saying
him.
that.
No, that's what he literally just said.
No, he very
No,
specifically
I
he
literally
said.
did not.
Yes, you did. You said
Yeah,
rulers.
nah,
measure-
yeah, Brenda, nah.
Yo, can I go
That's
one-on-one
rulers-
with this
rulers
Jedi?
measure-
This is a fucking joke.
Rulers measure length.
Jedi,
Of
this
course
is
they
a
do.
joke, man.
Yeah, I know.
No, yeah, that's a straw man
And
fallacy.
length. That's not a straw man.
Everyone
And
needs
length.
to back off about
Length is a physical property
No,
of
it's
things.
a concept that's reified. It's a concept that's reified on a ruler, but you're actually measuring the physical thing. You're not actually measuring the concept.
You're not measuring the length of length. You're not measuring length of length.
Nobody thinks. No, I'm measuring the length. I'm measuring the length of, say, a 2x4. I'm measuring.
conceptual
2 by 4
description.
I'm
physical.
measuring its length. Its length is a physical property.
Conceptual
it's physical.
description.
Right. Length is physical.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my God! Get
It's a
Jedi.
concept.
No, it's
You can't,
sure
you
it's
can't speak
conceptual.
to this. She's an idiot.
Sure, you can have
It's
concepts.
over. We'll be
you can
here
have
all
concepts
night
about things.
discussing fucking
I'll-
reification.
I'll-
So length is
Brent,
physical.
Concept,
It-
go ahead.
No,
reified
Brenda.
concept.
Is a meter or a foot or an inch physical?
Yes.
No.
Oh my
No,
God.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's just a convention.
Well, I mean, a foot
Yes.
is. You could have
Yes.
you got a physical foot up your ass.
No, it's a length. It's the length of something.
Reified concept.
And
go ahead.
length is a
This is
physical
crazy.
property. Length is a physical property
It's lunatic.
that
See,
things
you need
have.
to stop,
Can we-
Jedi. I'm
can
telling
we
you, you need to stop
Simplify
this.
this by asking him straight up: are units of measurement physical?
Yes, they are.
Well,
See, that's what
you
he's
don't need to go any further, right? We don't need to go any further with this. She needs
I
to be
agree.
institutionalized. We all know it. The audience knows it. We need to
That's
stop.
fine. I'm
Link
okay
is
with
a
that.
conceptual
Even verses like
abstraction.
Clockwork
Listen,
Orange
listen,
are
listen.
playing Abstraction.
So let me sum it up.
So shut her up.
So
in other words,
I just want to sum it up.
shut her up.
I just want, and then I'll be done.
Shut her up.
I want to
You're
sum
not
it up,
summing it up.
and then
We
I'll be
don't want to
done.
hear raving lunatic.
Shut it up.
I just want
Linked
to
is not
sum it up.
physical. It's a conceptual
I wanna-
description.
I want to.
Go
I
ahead.
want to sum it
Yeah.
up. Just as
You're not
clocks-
summing it up. Not with me here. They're going to have to
Say-
kick my ass out of here. You are
Just
not
as
summing it up.
length-
You are a raving
just as-
lunatic.
just
and
as-
everyone knows it.
Just as
You're not going to
just
do
as-
it. Not on my watch. You get the fuck on out of here.
You're just a liar.